Hello, kia ora and malolele. This is your host DJ Manda for 107.3 Radio 1FM. I have a slot every Tuesday from 10 a.m. hosting you with the best hour of rock music. But for the next 12 to 15 minutes, I will be on air hosting you with a radio documentary titled Prospective Passport Scam. It is a worldwide issue having potential passport scammers. We hear about it all the time, but what makes people fall for passport scam? This radio documentary will explore the issues victims faced in a passport scam led by an Auckland, New Zealand man named Gerard Ortimi. Gerard Ortimi is a Maori who believes he has the right to offer people, mainly Pacific Islanders, the opportunity to acquire a New Zealand passport. He is part of a self-governing Maori group independently created by Ortimi himself. The premise is that Ortimi and the group's members, as Maori and original settlers to the land, are not covered by the laws governing New Zealand. It is their belief that only they have the sole right to govern their fellow Maoris. As a consequence, they sold fake passport and visas to Pacific Islanders for 500 New Zealand dollars, issued in the name of the self-styled Maori group Ortimi established in New Zealand. They offered overstaying people the chance to be a part of their tribe by accepting the fake passport or visa without approval from the New Zealand government and immigration. This is not the first time Ortimi had been involved in operating a scam. Ortimi was convicted on 2 charges in 2004 after he issued fake warrants of fitnesses and driver's license. Mr. Ortimi came under fire in 2005 when he began printing and trading using fake money called Maori pounds. Ortimi held public meetings at Marae in Mangere, Papakura and Hamilton for overstayers. He offered a passport stamp granting permissions to remain in Aotearoa and a hapu certificate for 500 New Zealand dollars. Overstayers would also be adopted into his hapu, legitimizing their stay in New Zealand. Some victims accepting Ortimi's certificate would change their names and nationality to Maori, believing that it will give them the right to permanently live in New Zealand. From then on, say if you're a Samoan citizen, you're not called a Samoan anymore. Or if you're a Tongan citizen, you're not called a Tongan anymore. You're a real Maori, a tangata whenua. According to Immigration New Zealand, Ortimi and his group are running a scam. Ortimi is not licensed to issue New Zealand passports and visas. However, he believes he is not guilty under the 1835 Declaration of Independence, using the Treaty of Waitangi, an immigration document allowing white settlers or Pākehā to come to New Zealand. The Manukau District Court in New Zealand disagreed and found Gerard Ortimi guilty of fraud. On the 29th of July 2011, Ortimi was convicted to 18 months in jail and was also ordered by the Manukau District Court to pay 12,500 New Zealand dollars in reparation to his victims. Approaching victims of the scam for their opinion about Ortimi's certificate is very important in this documentary. They were interviewed about their choices between Ortimi's certificate and the New Zealand immigration's visa process. Victims of the passport scam interviewed wishes to stay unknown. As a pseudonym, John Fa'asau and Anne Palu were victims of the scam. John Fa'asau, aged 62, was born and raised in Samoa. As a young adult, he studied in Auckland on a student visa, then returned to Samoa. He settled down in Samoa, got married and had 3 children. He came back to Auckland in 2007 on a work visa. His wife and 3 children are still living in Samoa. Anne Palu, aged 22, was born and raised in Tonga. As a child, her mother would bring her to Auckland to visit family during Christmas holidays. She returned to Auckland in 2009 on a student visa, attending Auckland, New Zealand Manukau Institute of Technology. John explained that he accepted Ortimi's certificate due to the expiration of his work visa and New Zealand immigration not issuing him a permanent residence visa. He was not aware of the scam, and Ortimi guaranteed that the certificate to be issued is official and legal. He also quoted that despite everything he went through with immigration, Ortimi was his only available option and his possible shortcut to staying in New Zealand. He happily paid the 500 New Zealand dollars to Ortimi, believing that it was not a scam. After Ortimi's trial, John believes that Ortimi does not deserve the penalty. John Faisal said the stamps looked real and that the examiners were being led by Maori. They were each given a form to fill out in order to gain their permanent residency visa. Anne Palu was not aware of the scam, quoting, "She felt like Otimi was helping her and not ripping her off for her money. She believed Otimi is a good man because he seemed to care." She continued on about how she wanted to stay in New Zealand and find a job, but it seemed impossible due to her visa. And when her friend told her about the Otimi certificate that would allow her to stay in New Zealand, she checked it out and applied for it. When asked how she felt when she found out about the scam, she quoted that she found out on the news that the whole document and Otimi certificate was a rip-off. She did not believe it and was scared because she did not know what was going to happen to her at that time. Anne Palu mentioned that they were told to stand in line with 500 New Zealand dollars in hand to get their passport stamped, before being told they were not allowed to leave the country for the next 10 years. John Faisal is now living in Samoa with his family. Anne Palu is happily engaged to her boyfriend, a New Zealand resident, and believes that it will help sort out her visa. As mentioned earlier, Gerard Otimi was sentenced to 18 months in jail. He has served his time and was recently released. Approaching New Zealand immigration for further information about the scam was met with indifference. They did not find it interesting and said that it was a minor problem. There are always consequences when it comes to prospective scammers. Gerard Otimi was convicted of 38 charges of altering a document with intent to cause loss. This proves that no matter what kind of person you are, being a scammer is a disgrace and deception. So there you have it. That was your radio documentary for today, titled Prospective Passport Scam. I am your host, DJ Manda for 107.3 Watt FM. Stay tuned and have a good day.